15. Okay. 15 seconds. Thank you. All right, have a good race. Let's try to keep the caution to the minimum.
I'm gonna join now.
Yep, go ahead. All right, everybody. Welcome to Fast Family National Series. We're back at you with Richmond Raceway tonight. I am Mr. Slidejob 1996, and I am accompanied by Arkham Boss. How are you tonight, Arkham?
I'm doing good tonight. You know, last week I had to take a leave for some important business, but I'm glad to be back here again tonight.
We are glad to have you, and tonight will be a good one. So definitely glad you're back, as we are at Richmond, back to the short track racing under the lights. Tonight we are doing round one, race two, under the lights at Richmond. Nilla MG, the number 6 car, is your pole sitter, and the 40 of A Nismo in second. As we are coming around to the second lap, looks like everybody kind of falling in line. Long race tonight. Arkham, 250 laps. It's definitely going to be one of attrition. So, what do you think the strategy is for these drivers right away?
Well, I got a list of things. I call it my top three keys to the race here. You know, the first key that I have in mind is that you want to try your best not to go a lap down here because Richmond is a track where it is possible to go a lap down, and it's actually possible to go more than just a lap down. Second key to the race, pit strategy. You know, you only got a certain amount of tires and you only have a certain amount of fuel cans here at Richmond. And the third thing is changing your mindset. Understanding that tonight is a playoff race, and not only that, they're coming from a track like Auto Club last week to a short track like Richmond this week. So there's a lot of things on the line tonight, and these drivers are going to do their best to put on a show.
Absolutely. It's definitely adjustment. Last week was an absolutely different racetrack than tonight. Short tracks are kind of their own breed where everything that you do is accentuated. You make a little mistake and give up a tenth, which at another track might be not that much, but at Richmond, that's a lot of real estate. So, definitely an adjustment needed. Talking about playoff guys, it's really interesting, what the playoffs brings out of some of these drivers. We talked about them last week. Get the pressure on. Packers fan in the zero car is in the second spot right now. A guy that we've seen kind of mid pack, lower pack for most of the regular season. He has really turned it on and caught my eye early in this playoff round one.
Yeah, definitely. Having some technical issues here in the booth. For some reason, NASCAR Lobbies is acting up, so my partner can give me an invite here.
Yeah,
That
let's
would
see
be
if we can get
appreciated.
you another invite there. While I'm watching on the track here, Nilla MG, still your leader right now. He looks like he's got a tenth or two on Nismo in that 40 car. We saw these two up front last week doing a great job, but Nismo winning the two stages fell short at the end of the race. But yeah, and Nilla, always been up front, and we've talked about him, but just not being able to close the deal when it matters most. So he seems to have a very good car today. So we'll see how long that lasts. looking back in, I believe, the third position, we have Alec in the 95, another strong car at Auto Club last week. Um, he is starting off strong. Extreme Shocks behind him. So some of these players up here, no surprise. Loaf behind him, rounding out the top 5. And then it looks like we drop back after that. Um, let's see. Yes, sixth position, the 99 of M1 Sports, battling with. Oh, and he goes around. He is spinning, and he collects it back up and out of turn 4. He went for a spin. Looked like he caught the apron. So there's commentator's curse again. But
Yeah, always plagues us for some reason. It doesn't matter what week of or what race of the week it is.
absolutely, that seems to be a common occurrence in this league. One thing I'm surprised about is the 25 of Austin Con, the guy that's won the most races this season. Um, he is back in the pack right now. He is, I think he's 11th or 12th right now in the 25 Chevy. He is, it looks like struggling early. So, but we always see him saving his stuff and getting back up there when they need to be. But, what do you think he's doing right now?
Well, in being a driver yourself, Slide Job, and multiple other leagues, there's some things that drivers do. They save their best for last. And what he could be doing right now is he could be saying, you know what, I'm not going to push it right now. I'm not going to risk getting involved in an accident here early. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to ride with the flow. And then once it gets to that final stage, that's when I'm going to put the gas pedal down.
Yeah, he seems to be an expert in that. And one interesting development here is we saw the 6 car kind of get away from the 40 car. He had a great short run car, but it almost looks like that 40 car is reeling him in a little bit. It seems to me that he has a better long run car. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. That seems to be the case here. The 40 is really closed up on the gap of that 6 car, your leader. And, that can be the case. And actually, I think he's going for a pass right now. Can he clear him here?
Yeah, he's looking in the
Not
inside. No
quite.
dice there. But will he
Yeah.
move him out of the way this early? Arkham, if you were a driver in this series right now, would you be willing to move that 6 out of the way even if you were much faster?
Yes and no. I wouldn't want to move him out of the way and wreck him, but I would move him. I would give him a little tap to let him know that, hey man, you're not the only racer on this track, and I'm right behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the time where you might just give him a little tap on the bumper, say, hey, I'm here. You might want to let me by for the benefit of both of us. But at the same time, not the time to push. Looks like maybe the 6 was stepping it up or stepping off of it a little bit because it looks like he's gotten the gap back together. And don't look now,
Well,
but that 8 car is coming.
yeah, that 8 car is coming, and I just want to mention something. The number 6 is a Toyota, and if you look up to our, I believe it's the top left of the screen, it says Toyota Care, so the people at Toyota are loving this in the virtual reality world here as
That's
he's leading.
true. Yes, and
Speaking of sponsors, I think we
yes, I
have
was
some
just
news to
gonna
bring
get
to
to
the
that.
public.
We do. So a couple of weeks ago, we did talk about gaining a sponsor, and we are going to finally reveal it to you today. So we are proud to announce that for the rest of the summer series, um, for Fast Family Racing, we have a sponsor, and it is handcrafted by Rhodes, established 2018. This is a small business owned by actually one of our Truck Series drivers. He makes handmade wooden pieces, whether they are small jewelry boxes all the way up to a full bar. So I encourage all of you guys to check it out. He has an Instagram page for his business. It's at handcrafted _by_roads, RHODES. I checked it out earlier today. I don't know if Arkham did. We'll see what he thinks. But I was really impressed by some of the work that he has on there. He does do it as a hobby, not as a main business, but he does fantastic work. So go out and give him a follow. Like some of his images on there. Definitely some great work, and we're proud to have him on board with us. And you'll be hearing more from them for hearing more about them as we go along through the summer. So, Arkham, have you checked them out yet?
Yes, I have checked him out, but let's get back to the race here. The number 8 is passing the 6 for the lead here. We're having a tense battle for the lead at Richmond. And the 8 clears him.
He's worked his way back up.
Yeah, definitely there. And as you were asking me a question, did I check him out? Yeah, I did check him out, and I love the fact that there are still people out there that is able to do handcrafted things like that, and not only you know that he's doing handcrafted stuff, he's doing it as a hobby. He's not doing it as, like, oh, this is something that I gotta do to have a great business. He's doing it for fun and stuff like that. So I definitely encourage everyone to check him out. Here, as
Yeah,
6
absolutely.
looks like he head down pit road.
One of the cool things I saw about this company is that just the range of things that he can do. It's not even. I even saw, I believe it was some sort of shed. I mean, a whole shed. So I mean, it's not even just the small crafts that you think most woodsmiths will make, but he does it all. So go check it out, and yeah, we will be for the rest of the summer, Fast Family League, sponsored by Handcrafted by Rhodes. So we are proud to have them, and we'll hear about them later on. So let's get back to the track as we're seeing green flag pit stops going on. We saw the 6 of Nilla come down, a couple others with him. It seems like they're cycling out. What do you think about staying out longer on the racetrack, Arkin? You think that might be an advantage or a disadvantage?
It's kind of up in the air for me. Obviously I'm a truck series driver and I'm not really that used to Xfinity cars, but staying out here at Richmond, it can help you, but it can kill you too, because if you stay out too long, then you have the less fresher tires. You don't have as much fuel as the others do, since they came down pit road. But it can help you because maybe you can get around quick enough to kind of, if you're the leader, put them a couple of laps down. So it's a toss-up.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. One thing I noticed every time I came to Richmond was just, you do not want to pit at the wrong time, and finding the right time to pit is probably the most difficult thing, just because it involves a lot of luck. You do go multiple laps down when the leader stays out. So imagine a situation where you're even the leader and you come down and second stays out, and then a caution falls just in that time frame. Can you imagine the frustration on somebody's face when they find out they're 2 laps down from the lead? So definitely don't want to pit too early, but then again, we've seen how much tires mean. It definitely is a big factor. However, we see a big distribution there, because Nilla came down, and then a couple laps later, Shocks and Nismo came down, but now we're even seeing the 99 and others come down now. So a pretty big distribution of pitting.
Yeah, definitely. And when you go to pit road, being a driver yourself, Slide, do you try to conserve while you're on the track, and then once you get to pit road, kind of decide, okay, I saved enough fuel, so I don't need as much fuel for this pit stop, or I don't need as much tires for this pit stop? Or do you, every time you come down pit road, get the full buffet?
It depends. Oh, and looks like we just had some trouble there. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Hold on.
28 has incredible damage. I was flipping through cameras,
I
and I
gotta
heard
check.
that I heard the iconic sound of a crash, a car wrecking into something else or hitting something that NASCAR Heat gives us.
So
Ooh, the
yeah,
8 has some
we
severe
we have a
damage.
caution out. Somebody lost the tire in front of the leaders, and
Oh,
that caused a big damage for Nilla and shocks. Yeah, really big. So I'm gonna go take control.
lost a tire. Lost a tire in front of the leaders. Wow, that's definitely something that we haven't. Well, maybe we have. Not quite sure, but I don't think we've seen that this season here for Fast Family Racing League Summer Series. But your main leaders here, the number 8 and Nilla, got some damage. It looks like the number 8 has a little bit more damage than the 6 car. But now what's going to be interesting is, what are those cars going to do? The cars that pitted before this caution, are they going to come down pit road, or are they going to stay out? Obviously, the 8 car and the 6 car, they're probably going to pit due to the fact that they have damage. But looking at the rest of these cars, they look pretty clean. You got the 95 of Alec. Just gonna call him Alec 95. Don't want to butcher his name, but he's coming down pit road. 6 is coming down. So this was a break for some of those guys that decided to stay out a little bit longer, and they got their wish. A caution came out, and now they're able to pit here. As the 95, as of last week, or this week, I should say, he is, I believe, 3 points above the cut line. So, with this being the race before the elimination race, definitely he's going to try to earn as much spots as he can as he comes out with a fast pit stop. I believe he's the first one out of everybody that pitted. Yes, indeed he is. So the 95, terrific pit stop. Maybe he did something that we said earlier, or that I was mentioning about. Maybe he decided, you know what, I don't need as much fuel right now, or I don't need as much tires. But probably everybody's on edge since they saw a car in front of them blow their tire, or lose their tire. This is the National Series at Richmond International Raceway for the running of the Toyota Care 250. Family Fast Racing Series, sponsored by Handcrafted. Hold on, before I butcher their name. Handcrafted by Rhodes, established in 2018. So we definitely thank you for being a sponsor. Not only a sponsor, but a business run by one of our own drivers. So that's definitely something that we like. It looks like Hodges Sr. possibly is getting his lap back, as my co-commentator is acting as a official tonight, so that's why he's not here at the moment, trying to get everything figured out. But I believe the 95 is in second place. Or it could be the 36. No, I believe it's the 95. It depends, though. We will see. 'Cause it looks like everybody's lining up. They're not going just yet. But everybody's getting lined up, so possibly we could be going green here in just a few moments. So to recap on what happened, we had somebody blow a tire, lose their grip, and spin in front of the leaders, which caused damage to the number 8 car and the number 6 car, I believe is what happened. And everybody came down pit road. The 95 looked like he had the fastest pit stop, and everybody's getting lined up now, ready for the restart. And here we go. Green flag is back in the air.
All right, I'm back. I just heard from race control, 31 to go at the line. So quite a few laps still left in stage 1.
You know, while we were under that caution slide job, I was looking at everybody that went down pit road, and he's losing positions now, but the 95 of Alec looked like he had a really fast pit stop.
Yeah, he did. He might have taken 2 tires because I saw that.
Oh, wreck!
There's a
Trouble!
big wreck.
Trouble, multiple cars around. See if we can... The number 12 was involved, a General Twinkie. It looks like M1 Sports was involved. Ford Tough has some damage. Can't quite see if there was anybody else. Upcountry Bullet looks like he has some damage from that wreck. And Cooler Guy 3853 is still in pit road, so an early
I don't know
DNF.
who the guy is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that may be a random guy that somehow joined. Anyways. But Packers fan took some damage from that. Looks like Extreme Shock still has damage, maybe from earlier, the earlier accident. Definitely the case of cautions breeding cautions, as a once or a great announcer said, Larry Mack.
Would you like to commentate, Connor? Alright, you commentate, all official then. Your turn.
Alrighty. Possibly a switch of announcers here, as we're having
Yes, sir.
some technical difficulties with officiating the race. But we have it all under control. Here.
Yep. I will see you guys a little bit later in the race. I will be going down to the official box, and Big Belly Brand, Season 1 Cup Champion, will be joining you guys in the broadcast booth. So, welcome to him, and I will see you guys in a little bit.
Alrighty. Right. Once I get clarification that the audio was included. So, to recap the race so far, if you've just tuned in, we had a green flag start, then a couple of cautions have just came out. First, we had a driver blow a tire, spin in front of the field, which wrecked multiple cars, including our leaders. And then we just had another multiple car wreck at Richmond. So now we are getting ready for the restart. Not quite sure who your leader is. It is Texas Spots, I believe. And Big Belly Brand, do you have a copy? Alrighty, some technical issues getting worked out here, but the 99 didn't have such a great restart, as it looks like
Alright, there we go. We're good now. Audio.
trying to find the leader here. It is Magical Loaf in the number 44 Toyota. Here at Richmond International Speedway. So like I said before, there was 2 cautions that happened. The car blew a tire spin in front of the pack, and it collected some unfortunate people as we got a car in the grass spinning out. That is a single car wreck, so that will not be a caution. But now it seems like Green Flag Racing is in that's weird. That should be happening. Hold on, I'll communicate. It looks like a caution's out again.
Well, I tried, but it says there's no slots available in it, so slide job's coming back.
Alrighty. That's all we can ask for is trying. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, just trying to clear some things out. So another caution has flied at Richmond International Speedway. As you can see, cars going down pit road, making their caution. But, so, as we get things figured out here, we apologize for the viewers at home. Just trying to fix some problems here. But, no matter what, we are going to bring you this footage of the race, as we are live from Fast Family Racing League TV. Coming to the green with 16 to go here in the first stage at Richmond International Speedway for the National Series. As everybody is getting doubled filed here. So we are coming to the green, 16 to go. So this should be an exciting finish to the first stage. We've gotten a little bit of yellow flags flying. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. Nilla. Nilla is alrighty. Oh, 2 cars in the wall. As they got collected, 2 cars in the wall as the race is still continuing on. Nilla is your race leader, number 6 car, followed by Nismo and the number 40 car in second place, and Extreme Shocks, number 8 in third place.
And we got a battle for the lead. Nismo, the 6, and the 8, all in a little bunch. 40 trying to pinch the 8 down on the yellow line. 8 holding resilient. 6 trying to dive his nose in there. 3 wide for a second. So Nilla MG back to the lead. But the 6 is right there, or the 8 is right there. Gets right underneath the 6 again. 40 getting back underneath him. Well, these 3 are dogfighting, aren't they, Arkham?
Yeah, they definitely are, and you know, it's getting towards, you know, the end of this stage, and we've already had a couple of cautions come out, and you know, I wouldn't be quite surprised if another one comes out here before the end of this thing, but
yeah, we had a few, you know, people getting anxious towards the end of the stage, but I think it'll settle out. So we got 6 to go that time by. Coming to 5
I tell
to
you
go.
what,
And there will be no more
after that
cautions in stage 1.
dogfight for the after that dogfight for the lead, it seems like the number 8 car is checked out with 40 in second, and I believe, let's see who's in that third place position.
Nilla is in the 3rd spot.
Nilla in the number 6 car, 3rd spot. So it looked like the number 8 car of Extreme Shocks, he won the dogfight for the lead, and he possibly could be cruising now to a stage win.
That's true. He's got to get 4 more laps in. That 40 car, you know, of course, not giving up because a playoff point on the line. And a stage win, of course. So he's looks like he's running a little bit different line than Shocks is right now. Looks like he was running up a little higher, not really gaining much. But we got 3 to go in the stage.
Yeah,
Car
definitely.
dropping into turn 3. So pits are closed. 2 to go at the line. 8 cars still your leader. Not
Now,
really
I haven't
gaining on the
mentioned
or losing on
this,
the 40.
but if you look at the lead pack here as we're coming towards the end of the stage, I'll have to get it through quickly, but 2 of the cars in your top 3 are Toyotas.
That's true.
So,
Toyota is having a strong day tonight at the Toyota Care 250. 250
kind of a
miles we're doing
coincidence,
tonight.
isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that funny? 8 dropping into 3 and 4. He's 1 corner away from another stage win, and he's got it. Extreme
Stage
Shock,
win.
Stage 1 winner.
Shocks.
All right, so we're 1 stage in the books of the 250 lap race tonight. So Arkham, what did you learn in that first stint?
Well, the first stage, what taught me was, you got to take it easy around this track. If you overdrive the turns, then your car seems to just take a right towards the wall because it can't register the you're going so fast into the turns. So that was the one thing that I noticed. You got to be patient and you just got to call the right pit strategy. As our leader did, as they're coming for the green flag at the second stage, of the Toyota Care 250.
Yeah, looks like Nismo actually got the jump on pit road in that 40 car. He's going to take the lead here. 8 car up the track. He's in a couple spots.
Yeah, they're like a pack of hornets' nests back there. Let's see if they can get through the turn. It looks like everybody got clear of that turn, so
They are
it's got to be making these guys a couple
wide right now in the middle of the pack.
Pretty wide. Man.
Yeah, there's I think the 14, the 44, looked like 0 was in there. I'll kind of watch the middle of the pack here. Yeah, they're definitely slicing and dicing. The 44 Magical Loaf definitely in the middle of all that. Little contact between the 0 and the 11. 11, our race winner last week. I think the most comfortable person in the field tonight. The 11 of Eagles Danny got the win at Auto Club, locked himself into the next round. He's just cruising out there.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that point, as we got a little bit of contact back there. But we have a fan question for you, Sly Job, and the
What's
question
that?
is, Jeff asks, with Eagles Danny winning the race last week at Auto Club, how hard do you think he's going to go tonight at Richmond?
Well, if I'm Eagles Danny, you could take it 2 ways. One of which is through the grass, like he just did. But no, in all seriousness, one way is, you could just relax and ride around for fun and have 0 pressure. Or the other thing you could do, and which would be my personal approach, but some people look at it differently, is I'm racing harder than ever. And why I'm doing that is because at this point I got nothing to lose and all to gain. Say Eagles Danny wins this race, he's just going to add more playoff points that are going to help him get to the championship 4. So he can't lose obviously because he's not going to get knocked out this round. However, there's playoff points still available to gain that'll help. So, you can take it, the conservative or the aggressive approach, but I'm always the guy that leans towards competition, man. If I'm racing for it. So,
Yeah, definitely. Competition is the key. And what about the number 8 car? Look how fast he closed in, and now he's going for the pass for the lead. And he did.
yeah, it seems like he has a very long run centered car. He was very sluggish at the start of both stages, kind of faded back a little bit, and then he charges hard once we get some laps under the tires. So, not surprised. But while we were talking about points and point standings, I'd like to go through as of last week what we're looking at. So, last race was the first race of the round, Auto Club. And as we mentioned, Eagles Danny getting the win, locking himself in. Um, Another guy sitting pretty, but we've seen him struggle a little bit tonight, but not in a bad spot. Austin has the points lead of non-locked-in drivers, 51 points above the cut line. Nilla MG, big gap between him and Austin with 24 points up. Magical Loaf only 4 behind him with plus 20. Shocks and Nismo tied at plus 17, and we see them battling up at the front all day, so that's going to be a good one to watch. And then your final two above the cut line, Ford Tough plus 12 and Alec plus 3. So not a big cut line. Below the cut line, Mustang only minus 3, looking for a good day. Packers fan minus 9, definitely looking for a good day. And Upcountry and Texas Spots minus 12 and 13 respectively. So that kind of gives you of people to watch and what they're willing to do. So Arkham, my question to you is, you're somebody like Texas Spots, Packers fan, Upcountry, you're already double-digit points down or close to it. So, what do you think their approach is to this race?
Their approach of this race is pretty simple. They're going to have to race as hard as they can and hope that they can finish the best possible position that they can. Obviously, it's the second stage. The one major thing that they should be concerned about is stage points. And I'm going to say stage points 2 more times. Stage points, stage points. You need them because if you can get stage points, it's going to help you in the long run. That's what I've learned in the Truck Series.
That's the truth, and you were talking about being aggressive and getting all you can. We just saw the 14 of Texas Spots take it 3 wide on the bottom and gain 2 spots. He got past the 44 and the 0. So you're talking about a man on a mission. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. He's saying, you know what? I'm below the cut line. I need to get where these other playoff drivers are, and in order to do that, I'm sorry, fellas, I got to take y'all 3 wide.
Talk about another man on a mission. The 8 car of Extreme Shocks is really gapped second place now. It looks like he's up to 3 or 4 tenths, maybe even half a second. He's really turned it on and opened it up, but I'm worried a little bit. Arkham, do you think that the 8 car is using up his stuff a little bit too much right now?
Possibly. It's either that he's using up his stuff a little bit too much to get this big advantage, or he just really knows how to race here and he knows how to get away from the other pack. I mean, you also got to put into perspective, maybe, do all credit to these drivers. They are all good drivers. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, there's no bad driver here tonight. But with Extreme Shocks and the experience that he has, maybe he knows something that the other drivers don't know, and he's saving and he's just out and cruising right now.
That's possible. He definitely had some fast laps in practice, so he's putting on a display right now. It seems like he is just walking away from the 40. The 6 car still holding tough in 3rd place, and we're looking back to see the gap. It looks like 2 to 3 tenths between the 40 and the 6 of Nilla MG. And then it looks like another 2 or 3 tenths back to 4th place, who happens to be, I believe that's Ford Tough in the 22. That's correct.
Having another good race here today, Ford Tough in the 22. Remember, he's your winner from Daytona. So
That's
he's
true.
definitely
He got himself in. Actually, I was incorrect. 4th place right now is M1 Sports, followed by Ford Tough in the 5th spot. But the 2 of them having a good race so far. And we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, how Austin was struggling, but always finds his way up towards the front. Well, Austin in the 25 started towards the rear on that restart and has worked his way up to the 6th position, taking away from the 95 of Alec.
Now, we may need to check into race control about this, but is the number 6 car, did he just get lapped by our leader of Extreme Shocks? Or is he sitting there in third? Wait,
He is
I
in
think he's
third
sitting there
place
in
right now.
third. Okay, that's
He
good.
is.
I was like,
But what do I see? Looks like green flag pit stops might be starting. I just saw the 44 of Magical Loaf peak down pit road. So, you know, do you think that that'll bring a lot of the feed? Think he's unscheduled, or what do you think is going on right now?
if I was the field, I would try to pit when the leader pits. That way I know for certain that I wouldn't go a lap down. Or at least, can't really say that you wouldn't go a lap down, but, to kind of, maybe you could pit with the leader, but if you couldn't, then I would say, yeah, a lot of people are going to start coming down, because a lot of these cars are probably on the same fuel run.
And you were absolutely right. I saw M1, Austin Con making their trip down pit road. Nilla MG is also on pit road. A couple people still staying on the racetrack. 12 car on pit road as well. We saw the 95 exiting. And the 11 of Eagles Danny's down. So we are definitely seeing pit stops in full swing, but we see a couple cars still on the racetrack. It looks like 22 of Ford Tough and the 40 of Nismo still on the racetrack. And I don't believe we've seen the 8 car down, our leader, yet either.
Very interesting indeed. It looks like our leader is just trying to run all of what he has right now. He's on another level, another planet, I should say.
That's the truth. He is putting on a show. Looks like the 40 car is actually either, I don't believe he's pitted, so looked like the 99 of M1 Sports got around him. Maybe something going on with that 40 car, but you see all the advantage to that 8 car definitely is walking away right now. And you can see the advantage of the new tires. You can see the 95 pull right up to that 40 car like nobody's business. Just the speed difference there.
Yeah, definitely. In being a driver yourself, Slide Job, what is the main thing to worry about, when you decide to take pits? Is it more of a fuel thing here, or is it more of a tire issue? As I believe we
Well,
had a car lose tire earlier.
it seems to me that it's usually fuel. However, when the handling usually goes away here, not necessarily the tires per se, but the handling. So a lot of
Mhm.
people end up pitting just because they can't control their car anymore. Not as much so with the Xfinity car, just because it's way more stable. However, you definitely see, the handling and the tires, taking a back seat sometimes, especially in this car right here. But as we see, the top 2 making their way on pit road, Nismo and Extreme. So that's pretty much going to finish the cycle.
Yes, definitely. And Extreme Shock should retain the lead here once everything cycles back around.
Actually, there's one more. Ford Tough
28, I
in
believe he said he was pit.
22
Oh.
has not pitted yet. Yeah, he's going to be the last car. So the 8 car of Extreme Shocks has, I believe, cycled back to, or will cycle to the lead. I believe he's just lapped the 11 car of Eagles Danny. Not a good start for him, but again, we talked about him being locked in from last week, so that's good. But the guy that you definitely don't want to see getting lapped right now is that Zero Packers fan.
No, you don't. And Zero Packers fan, he's probably in his car trying to push the pedal as hard as he can. He's like, "Oh man, the 8 car is coming behind me," and unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's gonna get away from the 8 car.
That's the truth. And actually, we did have one other car that did not pit, making their way on pit road. We see the, let me see if I can find them for you. It's
28 of
GRM Joker
Upcountry.
in the 98. You saw Upcountry too?
Yeah, I heard in race control slide job that Upcountry of the 28, he said that he was coming down pit road when you were talking about other
Ah,
drivers.
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, it seems like GRM Joker will be the last car making the cycles, so that will cycle Extreme Shocks back to the race lead. Packers fan holding on tough though. He hasn't gone a lap down. You know, if I'm Packers fan, I think what I'm trying to do is either stay in front of that 8 car or try to be the first car a lap down. And you know, because he definitely does not want to go too far down early, especially needing those points and a good finish tonight. Ooh, oh, he blocks the leader and the leader goes around.
Wow.
The 8 car goes around. Big controversy there. Boy, that we were talking about the 0 wanting to stay in the lead lap, but to block the leader down to the apron like that, and the leader trying to get underneath gets on the apron. Wow. So Extreme Shock still maintains the lead, but he just gave up all of his lead. He had about at least a 3-4 second lead, and it is gone.
Yeah, I heard, and I quote, the number 8 driver, Extreme Shocks, in the race control, he just said, "I appreciate that, Packers fan." So,
yeah,
uh,
that is definitely not, you know, something that the 8 car wanted to see, and I'm sure he's frustrated. And actually, I think I misspoke. I think the 8 did lose the lead. He did stay in front of the 40 in Nismo, but I believe the 6 of Nilla is now in the lead, and he has caught up to the 0 car. So this might be interesting, Arkham. You know, when the 6 car gets up right up to his bumper, you know, how willing will that 0 car be, you know, to let him go? And will the same thing happen?
yeah, it will be interesting to see. I just got confirmation from race control slide job. Nilla is your leader, so you were correct on that. Number 8 lost the lead due to that incident with the 0. But yeah, you know, and you know, with you being a driver, and I hate to say that every time, but you are a driver. But
I am.
you know,
You're right.
is that something, you know? Do you think the 0 driver, a Packers fan, meant to do that intentionally, or do you think he was just kind of focused in his own little world and didn't notice the 8 car behind him?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the block was intentional. I don't think forcing him to the apron and getting him around was. You know, it seemed to me that the 0 car was running pretty hard, trying to stay in front of him, and I did see whenever the 8 would try to dip low to stick his nose maybe underneath, the 0 would follow him. So he was definitely blocking, which, you know, at this point in the playoffs, you know, with where the 0 car is, maybe, you know, that could be warranted, but still a little early to block and especially the leader, not another car. But, you know, it's unfortunate. And, you know, you could also make the argument that, yeah, maybe the 8 car could have been a little bit more patient and tried to set him up. But, you know, when you're the leader and you got that kind of a lead at a short track like this, you just want to keep going. You know, you can't be, you know, stuck behind a lap car for that long, because you'll race that lead. So, you know, a lot of times what a leader will do is, you know, just call it out, say, hey, you know, leader's behind you, and then if they don't move, you know, a lot of times we see the bump and run, but the 8 was being pretty courteous to him, but just, you know, made an aggressive move to try to get underneath them, and unfortunately it ended badly. But could have been worse. I mean, he could have gone around, collected the field, or gotten significant damage, but here we see him collected, and he's actually running back down the 6 car.
Yeah, if Nilla, and I can't quite see if Nilla got around the 0 car, or maybe he just backed off.
He is not. He hasn't caught. It looks like the 0 car has actually passed two of his competitors and is driving away from them. So we see how fast, the Zero definitely has a fast car, but I don't think anyone has as fast of a car as that 8 car. We see him go around, and now he's challenging for the lead. He just drove to the back of that 6 car. That car is on rails right now. But yeah, you just see, the desperation for the playoffs. They just bring that extra aggression out.
Yeah, definitely. We also have another fan submitted question slide job from a Fire versus Ice 280. He asks, with the Zero car making that move, and if he was a lap down car at the time of making that move, would the Zero car be penalized for blocking a leader like that?
No, and the rule actually states that a driver may battle the leader if they are on the lead lap and about to go a lap down. Or the other caveat to that rule is if they are racing somebody for position in front of the leader. But the other side of that rule is that if you're a lap down or down and the leader comes up to you or other cars on the lead lap, the rule is you have to be courteous and let them go. You can't hold them up. But the Zero car just drove the 36 into the wall. And now it looks like he just made contact with the leader. I believe that.
Wow.
Yeah, what is going on right now?
And now the Zero car is going down pit road.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but it looked like maybe the Zero car was going to try to get to the bottom to pit and the 36 was there, but either way, there was stuff going on right there.
Yeah, so it's funny how this race is going. We've had a couple of cautions. Now we're having some excitement here with the Zero car. A lot of things happening with that car tonight.
I'll tell you what, short track racing always breeds aggression. It doesn't matter any of the short tracks we go to, you see it. It's just, bumpers are given, pain is traded. It's the nature, and that's why everybody loves short tracks. I mean, it brings out some crazy, wild racing, and we're seeing it. Even people that aren't even battling for the lead are going nuts. So I mean, this is what we come to see.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like a few drivers are they going down for their green flag pit stops here? I saw a couple of cars go down pit road.
I did see that as well. It looked like Nilla MG went down. I think Texas Spots in the 14. See General Twinkie in the 12. The 99 at M1 Sports.
The 8's coming down pit road now.
Yep, we're definitely seeing the second round of green flag pit stops. We didn't see a second round in the first stage because of a couple of cautions, but we're definitely going to see it here. I'm going to get a lap check. So I just heard from race control, we got 14 to go at the line. So stage 2 winding down. We still got that all-important stage 3 left.
Yeah, we got that important stage 3 left, but I tell you what, this stage 2 is just flown by, and I think you kind of have to credit it to the green flag racing that we've had here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely goes by without the cautions, and this is for a short track. It's pretty quick. I mean, it is, it is a short track under a mile, but these laps click off in, I believe, around 21 seconds for the National Series car. So, they do go by quick. When you hear 250 laps, it's like, wow, that's a lot. But not at this track. It's very quick. But the stage 3 is very long. So, we'll definitely see some
stage 3 is very long. And you bring up an interesting point about mileage. It's the Toyota Care 250, and they have exactly 250 laps. So I've kind of found that interesting.
Yeah, that is
So,
interesting. Um, I don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought Richmond is under a mile. I thought it was around 3/4, but I could be wrong.
yeah. We will get our researchers up here in the booth to figure that one out.
Yeah, that might be
But
a good fact to know. Either way, let's figure out now that pit stops are pretty cycled out. We are back up to our leader. It looks like it might be either the 6 of Nilla or the 99 of M1. I'm gonna check on that based on pit stops. We'll see. Alright, so we're still cycling actually. The 98 of Joker is the leader right now. It was at first Nismo had stayed out on the racetrack. We're watching the 98 of Joker now. We'll see if he can stretch it. Do you think at this point, Arkham, that anyone was thinking about making it?
Uh, it's a great possibility, you know, Richmond, and you were mentioning short track racing earlier. I've seen short track racing bring out some interesting strategies. Don't know if you remember, it was a different track. It was actually Martinsville. But
Yeah,
with short track racing, I believe the two Gibbs cars, I believe it was Hamlin and Kyle Busch, they went down pit road all by themselves. And Hamlin ended up winning the race and taking it away from Jeff Gordon. That was in 2010, I believe. So, short track racing can bring out some interesting things that you may not know about racers.
absolutely. We're definitely gonna watch. I mean, he's definitely off pace, so absolutely saving here. But the interesting thing is it gonna be enough? Because we're under 10 laps to go here, so we'll see. Get an exact count for you. So we're coming to 4 to go here, with the 98 still the leader. He's just got to stretch it 4 more laps. It'd be interesting to see if he can do it.
Okay, I've just gotten word from our researchers from the booth. Slide job, the length of Richmond Raceway is 0.75 miles long.
That's what I thought, 3/4 of a mile. How about that? 2 for
Yeah.
2 tonight.
Man, you're on fire and you're not
I
racing.
know, right?
What's going on here?
All right, we are at 3 to go, I believe, in the stage. 98 still your leader, still out there. Can he make it to the end? Coming to 2 to go. Pits will be closed here, so he's going to try to stretch it. So he's going to try it, and if he gets this, he's going to win the stage. Which would be very shocking.
The 99?
The 98 of Joker. Coming around to the last lap of stage 2 here. Could he get his first stage win? Oh, it looks like he blew a tire. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Can he make it around without incident here? Not sure where Extreme Shocks is in the 8. He might... Oh, he hits the inside wall.
And there goes the
Slow
8.
on the track, and there goes the 8. Nice try.
Oh, he ran low on fuel. He ran out of fuel.
Wow, we had another car that was out of fuel. Wow.
Yeah.
And actually, turn of events, there was a couple other cars that tried to stay out, Mustang, Ford, and a couple others, but Mustang 501 is your stage winner in that 36 Ford. So we had some other savers. Joker just coming up short, but the 36 of Mustang will be your stage 2 winner. So a guy that was, I believe, let me just, I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to double check. Yeah, a guy that was 3 points onto the cut line just won a stage. So that's going to put Alec in trouble. Now, depending on stage points and whatnot, but that's huge for him. Absolutely huge at this point. So, good job to him. And here we go for the stage 3 restart. The 22 of Ford Tough gets the race off pit road. And he's going to lead the field, but it looks like the 36... Oh, we got a car! I can't tell. Yeah, everybody held on to it. But that was... Oh, there goes the car.
Oh, no. Now we got a wreck.
Yeah, I think there was a big wreck. And that is going to bring out the caution. So, caution early, stage 3. Alright, they are going to be going green this time by. Nilla in the 6, Texas Spots in the 14, staying out. Everybody else behind them pitted. Green flag in the air. Look at the jump by the 6 and the 8. Ooh, some contact back in the pack. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely getting a tight situation here. Green flag back in the air. But
Absolutely. Restarts always hectic at Richmond. Always are.
and for anybody that's wondering at home, this is for viewers. We do manual restarts, so that means that these guys actually have to restart on their own, and it's not the game that's giving them the restarts, except for the ending of stages. So
That's the truth. We try to make every race that we do as realistic as possible, including elements like manual cautions, manual restarts, all of that, all of those elements of real racing we bring here to the NASCAR Heat community for our viewers and our drivers to try to create the most realistic eNASCAR experience that we can for you. It looks like we've got battles all over the track. Probably the biggest one right now. Towards the front, the 44, the 99, looks like the 6 and the 40. All battling for that second spot. Is no surprise there, but the 8 is kind of walked away early in stage 3.
now I like to add a new addition to our commentary here. I like to call this "Who has the best paint scheme of the race?" And my nomination slide job is the number 95 car of Alec. It looks like his car. It reminds me of an old-fashioned Mustang.
Yeah,
The way
yeah,
he
it
has
does.
his thing schemed up.
That definitely reminds me of one. I think I'm torn between two, man. I don't know if I can pick, but these two drivers haven't changed their paint scheme in a couple weeks, but for good reason. I absolutely love them. The 44 of Loaf and the 25 of Austin have great paint schemes. I absolutely love them. The 25 Austin's car almost reminds me of Alex Bowman's throwback to Tim Richmond. A little bit, one shade darker, but the gold and the red and the I guess you could say burgundy, really remind me of that car. Really cool. And then the 44 Loafs, just I love the use of green and white. It goes well together. So, a lot of great looking cars out there, though, for sure.
Yeah, so a little bit about Richmond here for track facts wise. It says Richmond International Raceway opened in 1946 as the Atlantic Rural Exposition Fairgrounds, home to a 0.5-mile dirt track. It hosted the first NASCAR Grand National Division race in April 1953, won by Lee Petty. The track became an asphalt oval for the September race in 1968, which was won by the great King Richard Petty. So this track has some history. Slide jump.
It absolutely does. It's one of the older tracks in NASCAR. And we have a caution out for a couple cars going around.
See what happens when I read track facts, a caution comes out. But that's the way it goes at Richmond International Speedway. as we have the field coming around under caution for, I believe, the 4th time tonight, maybe the 5th, I'm not sure. Kind of lost count at this point of cautions as we were on a very long green flag run. But it looks like the battle off of pit road is between the 8 and the 44. I do not know who won that off of pit road. It was so close to call. Photo finish at the line coming off of pit road. So that definitely shows that these drivers are giving it all they got, even when coming off of pit road, which is controlled by AI. But still, pit crew's working fast. It looks like they're all lined up again. Double file. Looking at the number 6 of Nilla. Number 99 of M1 behind with 25 of Austin. There, you got the number 8 of Extreme Shocks on the outside lane. 44, I believe, of Magical Loaf. As we have the lap down car getting his lap back. But everything is lining up, and we got a car that went into the wall. The car around, not sure what happened there. The car just decided to go into the wall, and we had a disconnection. I believe see if I can find that disconnection. Oh my. This is devastating news. GRM Joker and it looks like the number 14 of Texas Spots, they've both disconnected. Wow. What an unfortunate break for those two drivers. We'll have to wait for a second to see if they pull out of pit lane. But it looks like those two cars disconnected as everybody else is coming down pit road. I will have to check with my co-commentator once he comes back, but I believe GRM Joker 93 and Texas Spots 122 has disconnected from the race. Not sure what happened. I just saw a car go up into the wall, and then both of those cars disappeared and vanished into pit road.
Had a lag issue.
Okay, so lag issue happened. Is what I'm getting word from race control. So, an interesting twist of events here at Richmond International Speedway. We will go on a short break, and we will update you once we come back. Stay tuned. Green flag in the air again at Richmond International Speedway. as we got a 3-wide battle here. Looks like Magical Loaf came out with the lead. Extreme Shocks in second, and I believe that's Nilla of the 6 car.
I believe so too. And it looks like, don't look now, but the Zero Packers fans in fourth.
Yeah, he had a
Battling
great
back.
restart. So now, would you like to update the people on what happened during that caution with the lag issue, Slide?
Yeah, so basically what happened is we had a caution, two cars had come into contact and spun around. And then we had the second caution where somebody lost control and turned in front of the field. And then during the caution process, everybody pitted, got back in line, and then there was a lag, and it caused damage to several cars. So we we allowed cars to come down pit road once more and repair damage. We did have one driver not in the playoffs, had to leave because of work. The other driver did lag out. Texas Spots in the playoffs did lag out once more this week. So that's pretty much going, unless he wins next week, he is going to be out. But yeah, we did allow everyone to pit and get re-racked.
Yeah, terrible news for Texas Spots, and he was having a good run tonight. He was trying all he could, he was being a little aggressive, took those cars 3 wide, but unfortunately he meets the fate of lagging out of a race, and yeah, unless he wins next week's race, which I'm not quite sure where they go to. I'll find out in a minute. But that may just write the chapter to his playoff run.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but it is a part of internet online racing, and we as drivers have to deal with it from time to time. But it's unfortunate it comes in the playoffs like this. But yeah, you mentioned next week. Next week's gonna be a good one. One of the driver favorites on the schedule. We're going to Kansas.
Ooh.
So that'll definitely be exciting for sure. Not gonna want to miss that one.
Yeah, not gonna miss that one. And you know what, Slide Job? I know that this doesn't exist, but we might as well call this week coming up K Week, because the Truck Series goes to Kentucky, which starts with a K, and these guys go to Kansas, that starts with a K.
Absolutely, it's K Week, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next week. And we'll, of course,
Trademarked
we'll
by
mention,
Fast Family Racing Link. No, I'm just kidding.
right? We will mention, where we are at once again at the end of the broadcast. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a crazy week for these drivers next week. A lot of fun. Definitely don't want to miss it.
Yeah, especially for me.
And it's
Currently
elimination
17
week.
points below. Yeah.
It is elimination week. Next week for the National Series and the Truck Series, we will be dropping down from 12 to 8 drivers. So 4 drivers will go home. Those final 8 will battle for the final 4 spots in the National Series and Truck Series championships for the 2020 Summer Series. Cool thing is nobody's seen them yet but myself, but trophies were ordered yesterday. I do want to mention our sponsor yet again, because they helped out with that a lot, helping us purchase the trophies for the Summer Series. So I do want to mention them yet again. I want to thank our brand new sponsor as of today, announced, handcrafted by Rhodes, established 2018. One of our drivers, Kevin Rhodes, known by most people, owns a woodworking business hobby, does some amazing work. You can check him out on Instagram at handcrafted_by_Rhodes, RHODES. We're very proud to have them as our main sponsor for the summer series. So thank you, and we can't wait to see those beautiful trophies. And even better, in a couple short weeks here, we'll be seeing a couple drivers holding them. I cannot wait.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. As the truck series, like we mentioned earlier, heads to Kentucky. Um, and then these guys head to Kansas. So that's definitely going to be a fun week next week. And
Oh yeah,
let's.
Elimination Week is always an exciting one. Take it from me, it is always ramped up. Emotions, driving, everything. I love elimination, love hate relationship with Elimination Week, but definitely a good time to watch if you haven't been following us already.
Yes, indeed.
I will be
Look.
right back momentarily, but Arkham will take you away.
Yeah, the zero car, it looked like he lost it a little bit there. He got loose. Now we're focusing on the 8 car of Extreme Shocks. I believe he is your leader. Indeed, that would be correct. And I believe your second place car, unless he is a lap down car, it looks like your second place car is the number 11. Could be wrong on that, but hopefully I'm not. Followed by the third place car of... It looks to be... the Magical Loaf, number 44. But Extreme Shocks again is just, pulling away with this race lead. He's been incredible all day. This is the final stage. I don't know if you remember, but Extreme Shocks also won the Iowa race earlier this year. That was before the playoffs. So no wonder why he's really controlling it here. Richmond is not that off from Iowa. I actually think Iowa, whoever created it, based it off of Richmond. They actually like the idea of Richmond. It's like a wider Richmond, some people say. But,
That's true. I think the
Extreme
only difference
Shock.
between Richmond and Iowa is Iowa has a little bit wider of a track and higher of a banking. Other than that, they are very similar.
And if you remember Slide Job, I believe Extreme Shocks won that race.
Yeah, I mean, he has won the only short track so far this season. If he wins this race, he sweeps the short tracks up to this point, so he could be your Summer 2020 National Series short track champion. So we will see what he can do.
You know what, Slide Job? What we haven't done this entire race, and I don't know if you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, but we haven't showed these fans what it's like to go around Richmond. So what do
I
you say?
agree.
Let's follow our leader and give it a crank it up, family fast racing style.
Let's do it.
Man, I tell you what, Slide, it's the same thing that I hear for every short track, and it may just be me, but it's that repetitive thing of hearing the engine, where they're constantly off and then on the gas, and you hear that at tracks like Martinsville and all the other short tracks. So, is there really no surprise why it would be repetitive here?
Absolutely. I think, you mentioned several keys to the race. I only got one tonight for you, and it's consistency. You notice the repetitive, on and off the gas and turning in at the right spots. The key to any short track is being consistent and clean with your laps. You want to be, finding exactly your marks as to where you can get the fastest lap and just hitting those marks over and over and over again. So, it's definitely the key. As you see, Shocks, obviously doing very well. He seems to have kind of mastered the points for this track, and he's been probably the most consistent out there today. As we see, maybe something potentially interesting coming into play, the 8 catching some lap traffic, not really slowed down too much, but, that's really, when you get in the long run of these races, it's really the only thing, being the leader, that can really, other than your own self, to get you out of that rhythm. But it can definitely, throw you off a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is a key of actually across this whole league. If you think about it, whether you're at a short track or a track like Daytona or a track like Auto Club, it's consistency, and it pops its head up every single race. Because if you're not or if you're not consistent racing, sorry, grammar is not the best tonight. You know, it may not end well for you. Let's just say that.
Well, I agree, and we talked a lot about the playoffs, and that is one of the major things for the playoffs. You see the guys that have been consistent all season, and, other than the few that may, win a race and get in, you see the guys that consistently just fast all season long. Those are the ones that usually rise to the top. Talking about lap traffic there, we see the 8 giving the bumper to the 11, getting by him. But, it really is. I mean, looking at guys up front in this race as, Magical Loaf and Extreme Shocks and Nilla, those guys have been consistent all season long. Even Austin, it just shows. But, it seems
Yeah.
to me that short tracks is really where things get accentuated, or as far, not things, but mistakes. Getting out of that rhythm can cost you big. So, less track, less margin of error.
And talking about consistency, if you had to pick, with what across the whole series minus the Cup Series, with the two series that we have running for the Summer League, the Truck and the National, with the drivers below the cut line, who would you say up to this point in both series are the most consistent drivers right now?
So we're talking about drivers underneath the cut line. Well, we'll start with the Xfinity Series. A guy or the National Series, guy that I've seen consistent all season long has been the guy sitting just below the cut line, our Stage 2 winner, Mustang 501. He does not have a win this season yet, but, he's been consistently there, in the top 5, top 10 almost every week. Just won his first stage. We haven't seen the winning success, but he's had quite a few good races this season. Got to say him. And if we're talking the Truck Series, the guy that I'm seeing, most consistent, I would go as far as say, you know, Marsh Morrow. Every time he's on the racetrack, he's very consistent in the top 5, top 7. I think his big downfall is the DNFs. Um, and that's, obviously we're talking about consistent within the driver's control. And DNFs,
Yeah.
really aren't much of their control at all. So, as far as when it's in his hands, he's definitely consistent.
Yeah, just looking at the chat of the stream here, we got some disagreements with you, Slide Job, in the truck series.
Ooh.
Somebody is saying that me, Arkham Boss, is the most consistent. That.
Ah.
Hmm.
See, I would
That's,
disagree with that because I think
mm,
you are probably one of the more big movers because I remember when you
yeah.
first started in the truck series, you were, dead last or close to it. And steadily, you've been rising and getting better every week, even getting an 8th place finish a couple weeks ago. So I would say you're the most inconsistent in a good way so far.
Yeah. They say here in the comments, they said I pick Arkham Boss 01 due to the fact that he constantly puts out the best quality that he possibly can, and so far this season has not disconnected from a race.
That's true. And that's definitely,
So that's why.
an attribute to the success that you're having as a playoff driver right now.
I just want to give every single driver a tip here, and for anybody that's in the chat, if you're racing online, get an Ethernet cable. It will save you so much time. And that's what I use, so there you go. Fun tip from Arkham. Anyways, back to the race here at Richmond. It looks like, I believe our leader is still the 8 of Extreme Shocks, which is no surprise here. He's kind of been controlling this race. But, would you say that he's definitely the driver, the most driver to watch here?
Absolutely. He's been dominant all day, and I just got word from race control. We're coming to 229 of 250, so we're only 21 laps to go in the race. But yeah, definitely that 8 car has been lights out tonight. He's just been on top of his game. There was one, or two issues that we saw throughout the race with him. One being a mistake by him, and then, or not a mistake by him, mistake by another driver, blowing a tire in front of him and getting some issues, some damage there. And then we saw that other incident where the Zero Packers fan kind of blocked him to the apron and he spun out. So, we've seen a lot of, I guess you could say bad luck, but a lot of it was early, and he's had such a strong car, he's rebounded from that. And even lapping the 22 Ford, one of his playoff opponents. So, that car has been on rails all day long.
And I have to say, not only has he been on rails all day long, I've kind of, looking at the manufacturer standpoint of things, it just seems that the Toyotas today are just on a roll, and the Chevys and Fords haven't really had anything for them all day.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to struggle on restarts earlier in the day. He would start up front and kind of drift back a little bit, and a couple people like the 6 and the 44 and the 40 would jump out in front of him, and then all of a sudden he'd settle in, and then that's when he would take off.
Yeah. Definitely a long run advantage. Now, I'm looking at a driver, and I'm kind of a little bit confused because I'm not used to seeing him run this far back, unless my eyes deceive me. But I'm looking at the number 25 of Austin Kahn. I haven't seen him in the lead once today, and I haven't really seen him in the top 3, unless he's in the top 5 right now. But tell me a little bit about Austin Kahn today, Slyjob.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, he is, one of the consistent drivers that we've seen in this series particular. Usually finishing in the top 5. And he's also consistent in the fact that, he always kind of starts off a little slow and then just picks people off. As we've seen, he's pretty much running the back a lot of this race, and then he has slowly but surely crept up, and he has worked his way up to the back bumper of the 44 who sits in second. So if he makes this pass, he's going to put himself in second. I almost feel like if anyone on the track has something for Extreme Shocks, it's him. I mean, this guy,
Yeah.
I don't want to compare him too much because it is, early in his fast family career, but gives me a Kevin Harvick feel, as it looks like Magical Loaf just drove him into that corner and up the track and took the spot back. So I don't know what that was all about, but Loaf just moved him right out of the way and took that spot. But what I was saying before was that it reminds me of Kevin Harvick, where he may not be up front most of the race, but he finds a way to be there at the end. So if he can get around that 44 car, maybe we could see something. But for now, he's in a little bit of trouble.
So what you're saying here, Slide Job, is that you're nominating him to be the closer of the National Series.
Yeah, I mean you can't argue it with a guy that's got 3 wins. He needs the points right now if drivers haven't won in round 1. A lot of people are wondering, wow, he hasn't won any races in round 1. But it's really not, it's a little surprising, but it's not surprising in the fact that, look at all the talent that we have in this league and in this series. I mean, we've had, I believe, 35 different winners over our 3-year history, so definitely quite a bit of talent historically, so tough to win.
Yeah, definitely. Now it looks like he's going to be second place because I saw that Extreme Shocks went down pit road. He's doing his green flag pit stop. So, is this a crucial battle now to get around the car in front of him to get first place? That way he can possibly be second place when everything gets all sorted out again.
Well, these guys will be pitting soon. It looked like the 25 gave it right back to the 44. He is now underneath him. You saw that bump and run that the 44 gave him. So that's one of those things. If you give somebody the bumper, you better be able to take it back. And Austin definitely gave it to him.
Yeah, he definitely turned his car into Bristol mode, I should say. He gave him the old bump and run there. Anyways. Now the 25 is now in front of the 44. We saw the 8-car pit. Your leader, but here comes the 44 back again. Man, this is an intense battle. And the 44 takes it, but then the 25 does a slide job.
Look at this battle going on. It is currently...
Man!
We're currently under 10 to go. But I just found out from race control the 22 of Ford Tough is actually our leader.
Huh.
Yeah, we thought he was a lap down there, but it looked like he pitted and then stayed out early, so interesting.
Interesting. Richmond is a place of surprise winners sometimes. It can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So the 22 just took 6 to go. So can he make it to the end? We saw everybody, or some people pit, some people not. Looks like he's got the 40 of Nismo behind him. And it looks like the 36 of Mustang. Not sure if either one of them are for position. I know that 8 is for position. Coming to 5 to go at the line here. And the 22 hang on. We saw somebody try to stretch it earlier, the 98 GRM Joker, and blowing a tire on the front straightaway on the last lap. So can he survive unlike Joker did and maybe win this race?
I don't know. The 40 car is catching him fast and hard. But
Yeah, I'm assuming the 40 car would be for position. I can't imagine Nismo being a lap down. So, and you can see them fighting pretty hard. We'll be coming to 3 to go here at the line.
yeah, definitely. This doesn't seem like a I want my lap back battle. It seems like a I want to win battle
Yeah, that's
here
what it
as
seems like
the
to me. So I'm assuming this is definitely the battle for the lead with the 8 car looming in the background. We're at currently 2 to go. This should be the last lap of the
two
race.
to the
Oh, is
last
it 2 to
lap
go?
cautions are off. I don't know. I was
No,
just
I
thinking
believe
2 to go.
it's 2 to go. Let me check. Oh no, it's the last lap. Sorry, last lap. 22 coming down the back
Last lap.
straightaway. Turns
Coming
3 and
around the
4.
final
Can the
turn, I think
22
he's
win
gonna get the
again?
win.
I don't
Is
know, that
22
8
gonna
car's
win?
coming. The 22
But he has
will
nothing.
win his second
Wow.
race of the season in the playoffs.
Wow.
Wow, that's his
Man, we
first
were
win of the playoffs. 4 Tough is going to round 2.
Man, we were talking so much about the 8 and the 22 said, "Don't forget me, guys."
Yeah, I guess I just heard over the radio that the Nismo was actually a lap down, so that puts the 8 car in second place. Shock's just losing another one. We saw him lose a race earlier this season on strategy. That's
Yeah, I
2.
believe it was oh, I can't remember
I
what
believe it was
track it was, but
Vegas.
I believe yeah, I think so, and Austin Kahn stole it away from him.
Yeah, I remember that one. Or I'm sure he remembers it pretty vividly too. So what another exciting race we've had this week. 2 exciting races. We had one at Daytona in the Truck Series, and now here at Richmond. 2 different tracks. But what a crazy race. So we're gonna get some driver interviews for you in a moment.
Oh.
Alright, folks, bear with us. We are getting the drivers into the party, and we'll do some post race for you in just a moment. I just want to remind all of the drivers to make sure to include your audio, and if you wouldn't mind, whoever had the results, please post them in the chat.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on. Record options. Record the last 5 minutes. All right, hopefully I just got them.
Cool. Alright, we're
I can
just
get
gonna
1 through 10 though.
Alright, give me 10th place.
Hold on. I just recorded it, so I gotta go back
Actually,
in
we'll
it.
just go up and down. So yeah, so Upcountry Bullet, where were you?
I finished 13th.
Alright, Mr. Bullet, you seem to struggle today. You needed a really good day. Probably not the one you were looking for. However, you brought the car home in one piece, so tell us how it was out there in Richmond.
Well, the track was great, but car sucked. Drivability wasn't there tonight. Had a couple bad weeks here, and yeah, just gotta turn it around and hopefully get a rebound here soon. It's getting a little frustrating, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely had a very strong season last season, so a lot of people were, expecting great things out of you, and it seems like struggling, but, luck is definitely part of it, and it just hasn't gone your way. So we will be looking forward to seeing some desperate moves next week at Kansas. All right, moving on. Hey, Arkham, why don't you take Mr. General Twinkie?
Alrighty, Mr. General Twinkie. Coming off of a track like not like Auto Club last week, and coming to a track like Richmond, kind of just go over what your mindset was for this track and how you felt you did tonight.
The mindset for Richmond switching up to short track, just try to stay patient and try to get through some of the accidents. You know they're inevitable with the short track racing. But car wasn't terrible today. Got caught up in a kind of a pile up in the second stage, kind of set us back. Track's position really seemed to help out if you stayed out front. If you got up front, it seemed to help you stay out front. But all in all, not too bad. Looking forward to Kansas next week.
Alrighty, can't wait to see you at Kansas.
All right, now we are going to talk to Mr. Mustang 501. So, Mustang, you won your first stage, and I know you needed a strong day being just below the cut line by 3 points. So, tell us how it feels to win your first stage.
It feels good. We came in, we didn't really have the fastest car. Just came in with the strategy to be patient and just run my race, and it played out for the second stage, and played out for the finish too. I would have pushed a little harder if I'd known I could catch Ford, but I really needed the good finish. So kudos to him, and I'm looking forward to Kansas next week.
Fantastic. Well, you definitely picked up a ton of points today. That's definitely going to help you in the fight for that last couple of spots in the next round. So it'll be exciting to watch you at Kansas. All right. Ford, why don't you take Mr. Alec?
Ford.
Sorry, Ford. Why did I say Ford? I was looking at Ford's name, and yeah, you know what I meant.
Well, Alec, coming off of Auto Club last week, the one good thing, and this is kind of just an inside joke, you didn't become Richmond tonight, so kudos to you on that one. But, just go over what you felt your car was like tonight and how you felt you did this track as a driver.
Felt pretty good. I finally got stage points. It's been a while since I've done that, so that was nice. Unfortunately, some of the people who were below us on the cut line got stage points too, and one got a stage win. So it's going to be a little tight going into Kansas. I look forward to Kansas. It's one of my better tracks. I didn't think Richmond was going to be good. We came home with a top 10. I think we're in ninth. Some ridiculously hard battling there for those last couple laps to get that ninth position or eighth position, whatever we were fighting for. Met the wall too many times, a couple times, but overall had a quick car. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So on to Kansas.
Seems like everything was great there, and can't wait to see you race in Kansas.
All right, we are here with Mr. Nilla MG. Nilla, you had a fast car today. I think no one doubted that, but it just seemed like the short run was, where your strong suit was. You got up front there at the beginning of the race and just took off, and then kind of hung around the top 5 pretty much most of the day, but it just seemed like nobody could catch Mr. Shocks on the long run. So why don't you tell us how about your day?
Yeah, grabbed the pole, led some laps there in stage 1. Didn't really like to see that caution come out in stage 1, but still managed to pick up a third place stage finish in that. Got a third in stage 2 as well. Kind of ran right around there all day, about second, third, fourth. Stage 3 got put down pit road by a non-playoff driver, and there was no communication with the race official, so the caution wasn't thrown.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and unfortunately, usually, when contact sends somebody into pit road, it usually isn't a caution. It's just a tough situation to be in. We definitely saw some playoff and non-playoff drivers racing, very aggressively tonight. Short track racing definitely brings that out, but fortunately a tough stage 3, but you grabbed a bunch of stage points in stage 1 and 2, and you came
I got
in with
a question, Sled.
Sure, good.
So, like in the beginning of the race, whenever I think there was a caution for somebody cutting the nose off of Austin, but it was a one-car accident, but he got wrecked. Why wouldn't that apply to when I get wrecked down pit road?
So the difference is like you were actually, do you mind if we just discuss this later?
Sure.
I can give you a detailed explanation. I want to get the rest of the interviews done so people can filter out. All right. So anyway.